Alright boys and girls, I hope everybody is doing well. Now as you might have read the title, this is a bit of a different video. I was kind of wanting to get more of an established audience before I made this video, just because I thought it'd be better to have a audience that kind of follows me for me. So yeah, like I said, I'm quite apprehensive to make this video at first, but the fitness industry unfortunately has a lot of lies, a lot of untruthfulness in it. So yeah, I just thought I'd bring a little bit of honesty into the fitness industry. Along with the other few creators that have done it, so I hope you guys enjoy. Right, so I will try and keep this short and sweet and to the point. First of all, very important I say, obviously I am not a doctor, I'm not qualified in any way to give out information about this stuff really. So everything I talk about is just my own experience. This is not qualified information. If you are willing to seek qualified information, obviously go and approach your doctor and talk to your doctor about this before you consider doing anything. Or at the very least, if you're not going to consult your doctor, at least do your own research. You should know fully what object you're putting in your body, all the possible side effects it has in your body, and you need to be fully educated before you do something. Don't just do it because someone said to do it. You know, be fully educated of what you are doing to your body because it could have permanent effects. But that being said, I'm going to split this video into 4 mini sections. The first one being why I did Sarms, the second one being the pros I had with Sarms, what I found good about them. The second one obviously being the cons with Sarms, or the negative experiences I had with them. And then finally, do I think they're worth it? Would I do them again? And just before I get into it guys, if you are going to sit through the whole of the pros, at least wait and sit for the rest of the cons too, because I promise you every positive point I make there is at least one negative to go with it. So don't just watch the pros I talk about and think that's all well and good and get on with it. At least sit through the cons as well, because it's stuff you're going to want to hear. I'm not going to specify the Sarms that I have taken just because I don't particularly want to glorify the use of it too much, because I don't want to potentially influence people who are too impressionable. I'm not saying any of you are, but just in case. But I've done 2 or 3 cycles of Sarms in the past, and the last one I did was well over 2 years ago. So I guess you could say I've been natty since then, but obviously I'm not technically a lifetime natty. So let's get straight into this. Why did I do them? To be honest, I don't really have a good reason as to why I did them. It was quite a while ago for me now. It was over 2 years ago. I was a lot more impressionable. I was a lot more insecure in my own body. If you guys don't know from watching my transformation video, I was extremely skinny. I hated how I looked. It was the worst thing for my mental health. It really just affected my whole life. And I think I was just very young and impressionable when I heard about these on the internet. And obviously you kind of ask around, ask for second opinions. And I think I just jumped straight into it without really knowing what I was doing, which is obviously, like I said, is something I really encourage you guys not to do. I don't encourage you to do anything like this at all, but if at least you are obviously thinking about it, you should fully know, like I said, what you are doing to your body. So yeah, the first pro I guess I could talk about is the increase in strength. Your body recognises a SARM as testosterone from what I'm aware. Obviously it has a slightly different chemical structure to testosterone, but your body recognises it as testosterone, so it uses it as it would testosterone, if that makes sense. And obviously the SARM is genetically hardwired a bit differently, so it reaches the muscle quicker than what testosterone would. So it just works a bit more efficiently within your body. So strength gains was obviously there. I was able to bench my current 1 rep max for like 3 sets of 3 in like just 2 or 3 weeks, I'm pretty sure, the first time I did them. So the second pro I was going to talk about is obviously the size gains, and it's not anything crazy, don't get me wrong, like you're not going to blow up on SARMs, or you're not going to get crazy big if you just take SARMs alone. Obviously I did have increased water retention, which is probably the main thing. That's also kind of a bad thing though, which I'll get onto in a bit. But yeah, you just look a lot bigger, a lot bloated, not bloated in necessarily a bad way, but you look you're filling out things a lot more. Like I'll show you a picture on screen now of my shoulders on SARMs. They kind of just looked a lot more rounded, a bit more capped, a bit more watery than what they normally would, but nothing like crazy. Like you wouldn't really notice it that much. Only I really noticed it in myself, because I was obviously looking at myself every day and whatnot in the gym and stuff. Not many other people really recognised it. So you're not going to get any crazy size gains on SARMs unless you have to take a large quantity of them, or you pair it with something else or whatnot, or another performance enhancing drug. And the only other pro I guess I can really say about them is in the gym you feel obviously a lot more confident, because you know you've got this compound in your system. You do feel a lot stronger, a lot more confident in yourself and your ability to perform. Not sure really whether that's just a placebo, because like I said, obviously you know you're on something, or if that's kind of just how I felt. But I have obviously read studies that SARMs are meant to improve your overall well-being, well at least particular SARMs are. But I felt a lot better when I was in the gym training, and a lot more aggressive and a lot more focused. But that could just be a side effect personal to me. That might not necessarily be something, it could just be a placebo, like I said. But yeah, those are more or less the positives I could say about taking Sarms. Obviously, it kind of does what they are advertised to do. It obviously increases strength and kind of increases size as well. So yeah, it does what it's meant to do, I guess, in that respect. Right, so the negative experience I had with Sarms. So obviously, if you guys are not aware, Sarms are testosterone suppressant, some more than others, but ultimately they are all going to suppress your natural testosterone levels. And I'll really quickly explain what that means. So essentially imagine it like this: when you are on Sarms, your body thinks you have a surplus of testosterone in your body, so it stops producing as much from your testes because it doesn't think you need as much, because obviously you're taking this large surplus and it thinks you've got more than what you need, if that makes sense. So it slows down the production. It can actually cause testicular atrophy as well. Atrophy, have I said that right?
Atrophy.
Which is obviously where your balls essentially start to shrink up. I didn't really experience anything like that because I wasn't on any like crazy high dosage of compounds. That's something you kind of more experience with testosterone or steroids, but obviously it can occur while taking Sarms too. So essentially what happens when you come off of it, obviously your body doesn't recognise that you come off it straight away, so you're kind of left with less testosterone levels than what you normally would have in your body for your age. So you're essentially working at a lot lower testosterone than when you are on the Sarm, which hence why people take post-cycle therapies to boost their testes, start producing more testosterone again. Right, other cons are probably the fact that when you come off it, you really don't keep a lot of the results. Hence why I said at the beginning that you could probably make the same results size-wise, maybe even strength-wise, just stay natural. Because for me, my experience with a Sarm is that it's just essentially like a really powerful creatine. Like, you just get a lot of water retention, you feel big, you feel bloated, which is all well and good while you're on cycle. But I easily dropped about 3, 4, maybe 5 kilos when I came off. And, you know, I like to think I was still dieting and training just as hard as I was when I was on them. But eventually, obviously, that all left my system. I did drop body weight quite drastically. This could also be to do with my very high metabolism. Obviously, I'm not built to do bodybuilding necessarily, so I do have such a high caloric maintenance. I burn calories very quickly, so that could influence that as well. But essentially, yeah, when I came off of it, I just lost results very quickly that I put on very quickly as well. So you kind of see it as like you get results very quickly, but you also lose them very quickly when you come off. And that to me just doesn't really make it worthwhile doing, just because obviously now I kind of experience it, you do lose those gains you make quite quickly. You'll be lucky to keep any at all, to be honest, if you do. And even if you do, it won't be anything crazy. You might just keep a little bit of the size or a bit of the strength that you made during the cycle. And the other con I probably experienced, which I didn't really have until the end of the cycle, or more so coming off, but it's just the lack of libido and the lack of kind of energy, which is obviously a low testosterone symptom. Obviously, when you come off, like I explained, you have a extremely low level of testosterone in your body, obviously dependent on what the dosage was of the Sarm you took or what compound you actually took. But yeah, I just experienced quite low libido, quite low mood from time to time, and also quite low energy. I wasn't as excited about training as what I once was when I was on cycle. But I think that is also because once you get a taste of the unnatural life, quote unquote, it is quite addictive, and it's why quite a lot of people stay with it. And once you start, you don't stop, because training afterwards just isn't the same. Obviously, you aren't making results as quickly, and it is really off-putting considering you know how quickly you were making results when you were on a compound or performance-enhancing drug, and when you come off it, you just don't make the results as quickly, and it just kind of lowers your mood in training overall, and it just makes you feel less confident about training because you're not making the results as quick, and it kind of has a bit of a downward spiral effect. And if you don't cope with it very well, then you're more than likely going to go back on. That's just kind of how it works with any performance enhancing drug. Do I think they are worth it? Would I do them again? No, to be honest, I don't think they're worth it. I can see why elite level powerlifters might want to utilise it, even though I'm not sure they're supposed to. I'm not sure. I know IPF is obviously tested federation, but I know some powerlifting federations aren't tested. So I know you could probably get away with using it to increase strength levels prior to a competition. But other than that, I don't really see the point in using them. I think they're pretty useless, to be honest, at least my experience with them. Like I said, I pretty much lost all the results that I put on over the course of the cycle anyway. So I feel like you are literally just wasting money and time at this point, and it's just a bit silly. And obviously I don't recommend anyone to do them. If I had the choice, if I had to go back on something, like say if someone was holding a gun to my head and they're like, you have to do a performance enhancing drug, I would, not that that would ever be a scenario, but say that was, hypothetically, I would rather jump on steroids, actual testosterone, than do Sarms again, just because I think you're more likely to get more promising results from what I know of. And also, there's just so much more research done on steroids as well. Sarms have only been around for about 30, 40 years, so there's no long-term evidence or science backing up Sarms. For all I know, I could be fucked in like 70 years' time when I'm a lot older, or 60 years' time, whatever. Because obviously they're a group of new compounds and there hasn't been a lot of research done on them long-term, longevity-wise. For that reason, actual steroids are quite often much safer and also a lot cheaper as well. That's another thing. Sarms are very expensive. If you are going to look at Sarm cycles, if they are legit ones, because I know there are a lot of fake Sarm tablets and stuff going around, which you need to be very careful for. Make sure if you are getting anything from a trusted source, because you don't want to fuck up and get like a shitty pro hormone, whatever, that's just going to really fuck you up. You want like obviously the legit stuff. But yeah, it's very expensive. I'm pretty sure steroid cycles are cheaper. Obviously it depends what you do, but from what I know, I'm pretty sure they are cheaper. So sometimes you're essentially paying a lot of money and investing a lot of time and putting your health at risk for not a lot of results, or if any results. And to me, it's just not worth it. And so that answers the next question, would I do them again? No, I would not touch Sarms again. I don't think they are worth it at all. I don't think they benefited me at all. And if you look at my physique, it doesn't look like I'm enhanced, that's for sure. And I think I would probably look the same now than if I did or didn't take them, if that makes sense. So even if I didn't take Sarms at all, I think I would look the exact same now, probably be the same strength levels I am now than when I was on them. So if that doesn't tell you guys what to do, then I don't know what it is. That's just my opinion, that's my experience with them. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been a different one, controversial one. If you guys appreciate me talking about this, drop a like on the video, let me know down in the comments. I'll be free to talk about it a little bit more. If you want to talk about it in more detail or anything else, drop me a Instagram DM. My Instagram will be on screen now. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and appreciated this video. A bit of a different one to make, bit of a weird one. But yeah, take care guys. See you on the next one.